Hi guys, this is 604Starcraft, and I'm doing commentary on another game sent to me by a friend of mine here. I did upload a previous video. If you haven't seen it, definitely please do check it out. I do hope you like it. If you have any questions or maybe comments on how I could improve my castings or commentaries, please either send me an email or maybe leave it in the comment section, and I'll definitely do my part to kind of improve on what I need to. So nonetheless, let's get this game started here. On the bottom, we have my friend spawning here as a Protoss player, LeapingGnome. LeapingGnome, he was an avid StarCraft 1 player and has since transitioned into StarCraft 2 gameplay. This replay did take part, I think, during the earlier couple of weeks of the opening of these StarCraft 2 beta. So just regarding build orders, like I mentioned in the previous video, they might not play as standard as what most players are playing nowadays, but definitely this should be a good game. On top, we have his opponent spawning as a Terran player, Omnioctonos. I don't know the history of Omnioctonos here, but I will be referring him as Omni just to make casting a bit easier here. So we'll see how this game goes. I think the Terran player did go, I think he's going to try to wall off here, playing fairly standard. He did leave a bit of room here, so he'll probably have to block that off later with either maybe a supply depot, it looks like. That would probably fit right in between there. So, and I think on the bottom, LeapingGnome does have a, just kind of playing fairly standard here. He did go for, I think, a 12 gate, and he does have his gas down on 14. So we'll see how that plays out so far. I'll just take a quick look at the production tab here. Not too much I think going on for both players. They're just in the early stages of the game, but one thing to note there, both players did get the early scout. So the Terran player was able to scout out LeapingGnome, and LeapingGnome did get his probe in there before it was harassed out by another SUV. So let's just see if the Terran player does get an early Marine, kind of just to complete his defenses there, and I think he'll probably be getting one soon. So yep, he did get the Marine there. He does have his orbital command coming out as well, and he does have, I think, 3 SUVs gathering from the gas. So we'll see if he decides to go maybe some kind of an early Reaper cheese or anything like that. Before casting this replay, I was told by LeapingGnome that this was going to be a fairly good game. He mentioned that I would probably be surprised at the ending of it, so I am excited. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see how that goes. LeapingGnome did get his robotics down. We'll see if he goes for any kind of early phase technology. So he does go for the warp gate as soon as possible, and he is chrono boosting it as well, like I would have, like what I would have done. So that's great. We'll see how he goes for here. I think right now players are just kind of macroing up, gathering, and I guess LeapingGnome's probably working on his warp gate technology. For Omni, he is getting his second gas here, so he's going fairly heavy on the gas. So we'll see if he's going to probably play maybe a mech build, or maybe go into something maybe with battle cruisers or something with a starport. So we'll see how that goes. I think the probe here is about to chase down this poor SUV here. I think this SUV, one more shock and he's going to be done. So we'll see how, if he's actually going to maybe get cornered. And actually he does get cornered. So bad waypoint management there by Omni. LeapingGnome does finish off that SUV there, so he'll be losing a scout. And we'll see how the rest of this game goes here. I think right now LeapingGnome's technology is about to come on. It's about to finish up here the warp gate. I think he should maybe chrono boost this one more time here, but nonetheless it will be finishing up soon. He does have a I think his army is and right now I think he has 2 zealots and a sentry. So we'll see how that plays later on into the game here. I think for Omni, he did get his factory. He hasn't gotten any technology yet, so I'm not too sure. We do see a Hellions coming, and for LeapingGnome, he does have his Twilight Council on the way, so maybe we'll be seeing, I think based on this, maybe blinking stalkers or maybe charge zealots, or charge lots. So we'll see how that goes. Interesting enough, I do see that LeapingGnome has gone for hallucination. That's not fairly standard at all, but like I mentioned, this was during the beginning stages of the beta, so maybe he is testing something out. But as we can see, he is chrono boosting the hallucination, so maybe he's going to try to go for a an early Phoenix hallucination scout or something along the lines of that. So we'll see how that goes. Just take a look at the unit tab here. We can see that LeapingGnome does have 4 zealots and a sentry versus, I think, Omni's fairly small army of just 3 marines and a Hellion, and not too much going on there. He is building another siege tank. He hasn't upgraded the technology though, so his tanks won't be able to siege, but nonetheless he does have a he should be safe here behind his wall there. So I don't think he's just kind of playing a bit slow there, maybe teching up as well. So, and he does have his starport down, so we'll be able to see if he does put anything interesting down as well. And as we can see, based on the unit tab here, LeapingGnome is building with fairly heavy zealot army. He's going pretty much, I think, zealot and sentries, which I don't know if that will necessarily work out. And like I mentioned earlier, he is going to go for the early Phoenix Scout, so he'll be able to gather vital information regarding Terran, the Terran build. You know, maybe if the Terran decides to go for anything cheesy, maybe like a Thor ship or anything else like that. So we will be able to see. So he's able to spot the Terran build right now. Oh, but it will be a bit of mismanagement there. It will be taken up by these Marines. And I think at this point, Terran player is just pumping out tanks, and the Protoss player, he's actually going for Zealot Charge, which I guess fits his army builder now, because he is very Zealot heavy, and he's got, I think, 3 gates. Probably gonna want to maybe drop another gate down there. The charge technology did finish here. He's warping in more sentries, so I guess he's going for an only sentry and zealot army. So we'll see how that plays. Normally people do get maybe a couple stalkers just because they do have the bonus against armored units, but nonetheless we'll see how this goes. We do have here Omni. He is moving out with his army here. We do have, let's just see, he is moving out with quite a few Marines. We have 3 Marauders, and we have 1 tank here, and I think maybe another tank is reinforcing. Does he have the technology upgraded? He does have the siege technology upgraded, so we'll see how this goes here. This Hellion here a bit ran into the army a bit too early. We do have a dropship here, a medevac, so he did do an early stim. I think based on the unit count here, LeapingGnome should be able to take this down just because he does have the Guardian Shield up as well. The charge zealots are very effective in surrounding units, especially these tanks, so this tank is most likely going to be going down here fairly soon. Let's just see here. Yes, and it does go down. So I will just take a quick look at the units lost tab. We can see that the Terran player did lose a lot of units. I'm not too sure if that attack was worth it at that point here, but nonetheless we'll see how this game progresses. When we take a look at the production tab here, we did see that the Terran player has upgraded the Marine shield ability.